Caitlin Clark's injury has turned this season into a full-on stress test. No practice return yet, no firm timetable, and a city and league holding their breath. The Fever know the assignment. Win enough now, but have her right when it matters most. While some fans wavered and the numbers dipped without her, the conversation only got louder. And inside the game, voices are split between urgency and patience, from "she'll come back bigger and stronger" to "soft tissue means proceed with caution." Some stars change games. Caitlin Clark changes schedules. When she plays, tip-off becomes appointment time. Families plan around it. Bars switch the audio. Timelines light up. That's not hype. That's gravity. And if you want the clearest read on what her absence means in a contract year for the league, listen to Rachel A. Demita, someone who actually tracks the numbers and the moment. That's the headline and the homework. Caitlin isn't just lifting ratings, she's expanding the tent for everyone under it. The drop doesn't indict the WNBA, it proves how singular her draw is right now, and why the smartest play is centering her well-being and long-term dominance. In a CBA year, the best bargaining chip isn't a rushed return. It's Caitlin Clark at full power when the lights are brightest. Keep the season steady, keep the stage hot, and when 22 walks back out, the audience doesn't just come back, it grows. Say it straight, Caitlin made the wave. The WNBA's machine has been humming for years. She hits the gas and turns weeknights into events. When she sits, ratings dip, lobbies go quiet, highlight slots thin. When she plays, everything swells at once. Downplaying that isn't balance, it's denial. Even across women's sports media, Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's podcast included, the tent is larger because Caitlin stretches it. Respect the league's depth, but center the catalyst.
She is a certified A1 superstar.
100%.
Like, it's not even a question. And also, the health of the WNBA and the health of women's sports goes beyond just what Caitlin is able to do and the impact that she's had. In part, she's had this impact and has been able to be so successful and so popular because of the WNBA and because of the platform that it provides. So I feel like anyone saying like, oh, then, nobody's going to go. You're just like kind of, it's sort of an undertone. You're like undermining the rest of the W, which is still totally exciting. And
this isn't balance, it's math. When 22 sits, broadcasts sag, lobbies quiet, sponsor decks lose heat. When she plays, arenas sell out, highlight slots reorder, everyone eats. The league isn't bigger instead of Caitlin, it's bigger because of Caitlin. So cut the minimizing. Indiana's job is to guard the crown jewel, not chase a Tuesday applause line. The WNBA's job is to keep the drumbeat warm and deliver her back at full voltage. Center Caitlin, protect the timeline, and watch the tide rise for everybody. There's panic talk and there's championship talk. Hall of Famers speak the latter. They've lived the rehab grind, the mind games, the progress plateaus, the humbling days where a lateral shuffle feels like a mountain. They've also learned what happens to a season when identity lives in one locker versus the whole room. When Tamika Catchings leans optimistic, it's not spin, it's a blueprint. She's mapping the emotional posture for fans and the practical posture for the team. Stay present, stay competitive, expect to see your star again. Stronger. Catchings splits the atom. Disappointment and resolve. It gives fans permission to feel the gap and still pack the building for the rest of the league's best. For Indiana's locker room, her words are an assignment. Don't mothball the identity while you wait. Keep your defensive rules sharp, keep your spacing habits honest, and treat these games like reps you'll cash in when she's back. That posture, competitive now, patient overall, is how teams survive the middle to thrive at the end. Caitlin doesn't just get defended, she gets targeted. Every cut is a hit. Every handoff is a wrestle. That's the WNBA's open secret, and it's why her recovery isn't a debate show. It's a survival plan. Listen to someone who'll say it out loud, Adrienne Ross.
And the way she gets guarded in the WNBA, a way that nobody, and I mean nobody.
This isn't excuse-making. It's timeline realism, and Ross is defending the player absorbing the most contact. If the return starts, consistency around Caitlin becomes part of the medical plan. You manage the load with minute caps and no back-to-backs at first. You manage risk by acknowledging the game she's re-entering. The Fever don't control whistles, but they can control coverages, spacing, and substitution patterns to limit ugly collisions and surprise torque. The environment won't suddenly turn gentle. What can change is how prepared and protected she is inside it. Behind the Line posted a hot take. It sounds certain, but it isn't evidence. With Caitlin, we don't follow clips, we follow facts. Imaging, strength tests, practice participation, and next-day responses. A video can't see those. Treat that claim as an opinion, not an update. Be clear, protecting Caitlin matters more than feeding a headline, and certainty without data is just noise packaged as news. Call it what it is, speculation. You can't plan a season around guesses, especially not with Caitlin Clark. Indiana's standard is simple and verifiable. Pain-free change of direction, full participation in practice, managed game minutes, and a clean next morning. Until those boxes are checked, everything else is commentary. Caitlin earns patience, and the league benefits when she returns right, not rushed. When Howard Megdal puts a date in the air, it isn't pressure, it's protection. A target doesn't heal, it honors what Caitlin is. It tells a city to breathe, tells cameras to wait their turn, and tells the star that the finish line is about her being herself, not meeting a headline. For Caitlin, ready isn't a calendar square. It's a feeling you can see from the nosebleeds, the stride, the stare, the inevitability. This isn't hurry up. It's hold the door until she walks through like a storm. Write it big. Mid-end September. The assignment is simple. Keep the season close so when Caitlin says go, the whole building tilts. Don't chase applause in August. Save it for the moment she makes the bracket feel small. Every choice runs through one filter. Does this deliver Caitlin Clark at full power when the lights get cruel? If yes, do it. If not, don't. Because the league doesn't just need her back, it needs her unmistakable. Soft tissue injuries are the cruel villain of big stages. Invisible to the camera, relentless to the person living inside the body. When Emmanuel Acho says he's worried, it isn't a knock on Caitlin. It's an acknowledgement of how much she's already carried. The sold-out nights, the airport crowds, the expectation that every game is an event because she's in it. This isn't about questioning her toughness. It's about honoring the cost of being Caitlin Clark. Protect the artist so the art looks like it's supposed to when the lights hit. Take the worry and use it as a shield for Caitlin. She doesn't need to prove she's brave. She's already done that in front of the biggest rooms this sport has ever seen. What she deserves now is time, so her next appearance is an entrance, not a test. Bend the calendar around her, not her around the calendar, because the league isn't just better when she plays, it's bigger, and that only works if she's whole. When someone is plugged in as Rachel Demita draws a line in the sand, she's not nitpicking a calendar. She's defending the version of Caitlin that rewires an arena the second she crosses half court. Demita understands how pros really look when the lights hit. Adrenaline spikes, crowds swell, and defenders hunt contact in ways you can't fake on an empty floor. A star who shifts ratings and coverages doesn't need a cameo. She needs a return that looks like she never left. Sharp reads, hard cuts, live contact, and the poise to own the moment. The difference between drills and a sold-out night isn't semantics. It's the gap between being out there and being Caitlin Clark, the player everyone paid to see.
You can try to simulate game speed as much as you want in practice. You will never be able to. Game speed is game speed. There's also a lot more adrenaline, all of these different things pumping when you're playing in front of a sold-out crowd that the Indiana Fever do every single night. If I'm their coach, she needs to practice for at minimum a week. At the minimum, she needs to be doing everything in practice for at least a week before you throw her back in the mix.
Exactly. Set the bar at everything for a full week, so night one isn't an audition, it's a statement. For Caitlin, that week means real 5-on-5 with bodies leaning on her, full-speed reads when two chase over the top, downhill drives that finish through contact, and late clock decisions that only make sense at Caitlin's speed. It's not caution for caution's sake, it's quality control for the most magnetic player in the building. You don't reintroduce a superstar at half power and hope the moment carries her, you let the work guarantee it. Do that, and her first game back feels like a premiere, not a test drive. The crowd gets the version they came for, the Fever get the closer they need, and the league gets the headline it deserves, Caitlin Clark, unmistakably herself. No one wants back sooner than the player, and no one pays the price of hurrying more. The grind isn't cinematic. It's treatment, activation, court work, film, then back to treatment. This is where seasons are won in silence. Want to isn't a post. It's hours of making sure the next step is one the body can take at full speed without complaint. With Caitlin, that discipline is the difference between being present and being undeniable. Routine becomes armor. The mind settles because the body's been prepped to do violent things gracefully. When she returns, it won't be because a timeline got tired of waiting, it'll be because these days stacked, brick on brick, until ready wasn't a hope. It was a fact. While Caitlin does the quiet, brutal work, Stephanie White's job is to keep the room steady. Identity can't live in one locker. The minutes without 22 still have to feel like the fever. Professional, hard, repeatable. This isn't a waiting room. It's a workroom. Play like she might not walk in tonight and be ready the second she does. Keep the stage hot so the star steps into momentum, not a mess.
She's being evaluated. We'll see where we are with that. And certainly we'll have another evaluation, probably in conversation in the morning, see where we are. But, this group has played without her. We've got experience in that. We know that we have a tough opponent in New York. We know that it's going to be a challenge no matter what. And we just got to get locked in and ready to compete.
That's leadership. Check in, then lock in. Detach confidence from headlines and attach it to standards. The best gift to Caitlin is a team that doesn't need saving, so when she returns, she's an accelerator, not a life raft. White's tone protects Caitlin from urgency theater and protects the room from excuses. Everyone has two jobs: hold the ground and hand it back better than you found it. Fans keep bringing the noise, teammates keep bringing the work. Do that, and when 22 steps through the tunnel, she isn't fixing chaos, she's amplifying belief. Hall of Famer Lisa Leslie has lived the speed that turns a twinge into a season detour. She's not guessing. She's translating what game chaos does to a soft tissue chain. You don't test that chain with a light jog, you test it in traffic. Razor cuts at full speed, bodies flashing across your sightline, decisions made faster than a heartbeat. One wrong stutter, one emergency slide on a late rotation, and 2 weeks of progress can vanish in a single inhale. For Caitlin, this is where courage isn't loud. It's disciplined. Treat every step like glass until it's steel again. The only armor is predictability, controlled loads, honest mornings, and a hard pass on hero ball in a random weeknight when the real stage is a best of series. Boring doesn't trend, but boring protects. It keeps the star whole. So when September arrives, she isn't hoping to be Caitlin Clark, she is Caitlin Clark. The internet rewards clean certainty. Johnny Liquidator delivers it. But medical timelines speak in messy minimums, and if today, then tomorrow. That's not a shot at creators, it's a reminder that incentives shape language. A declarative thumbnail can feel right and still be wrong, or land right without the facts that matter. With Caitlin, we don't follow vibes, we follow data. Protect the player, not the clip.
Caitlin Clark has not played a game since July the 17th. It is now August 12th. In 5 days, Caitlin Clark will be out a whole 30-plus days for a pulled muscle, essentially.
This is simply speculation. Maybe it ends up close, it's still not a plan. Indiana's approach isn't theatrical, it's logistical. Boxes get checked, tissue responds, practice reintroduces chaos in controlled doses, and the next morning confirms whether it held. That's the only language that should set expectations, especially with Caitlin Clark. Numbers and thresholds decide, thumbnails don't. Start with facts, not takes. Alexa Philippou brings the update you can plan around. She tells you what Caitlin is doing today, what that unlocks next, and how much calendar is left to place those steps. This is the lane that protects Caitlin and keeps Indiana honest with itself and with fans. A path that serves the player first. This is progress, not clearance. Running means the engine is warming. No practice means live team speed is still ahead. A longer build protects September. 11 missed and 11 left means urgency without panic. No timetable means the staff is following Caitlin's body, not a headline date. Indiana can now pencil practice windows, set endurance goals, sketch first week minutes only after full practice is cleared, and check the next morning before advancing. That is how you serve the player and the season, so Caitlin returns right and the games still matter. Pat McAfee says it plain, 2 weeks is a floor, not a finish line. Minimums protect Caitlin, and when you protect Caitlin, you protect the WNBA. When she sits, the league loses oxygen in the places that grow it fastest. Road sellouts soften, shoulder programming shifts, top-of-feed highlights thin out, sponsors pause activations, broadcasters reshuffle windows, casual fans drift. When she plays, everything swells at once: ratings, ticket demand, CPMs, storylines for every other star. The smart move for the league is simple and hard at the same time. Honor the floor, resist the headline chase, bring her back whole so the product peaks when the stakes do. Treat it as minimums and plan like the league depends on it, because it does. Doctors work. Teams hold standard, networks keep the drumbeat steady, sponsors stay warm, fans breathe. Do not race the calendar. Build the return like a premiere so the WNBA gets the payoff it needs in September and beyond. A healthy Caitlin driving full arenas, lifting every broadcast window, pulling new fans into other stars, and turning casual attention into durable habit. Boxes checked. Key turned. She is herself and the league tilts with her. 2 clocks, 1 decision. The loud clock begs for headlines. The quiet clock demands honesty. If Indiana gets this right, they won't just get their star back, they'll get her ready. Ready to absorb a playoff series, ready to tilt fourth quarters, ready to make all the hours and all the caution feel like a plan instead of a pause. Win enough now to be in range. Protect the franchise by protecting the player. Then let the basketball talk, because when number 22 is truly ready, the whole league will feel the switch flip.